Ladies and gentlemen, Chairman of the Top 40 Selection Committee and CEO of Dynamic Designwear and Group Office Buys, Dennis Zakas.
Thank you. I'm here to introduce the top 10 companies. From the beginning, the top 10 Innovative Companies competition has been focused on innovation. As you know, today's theme has innovation. Every one of the summits has had innovation as a theme, and nothing embodies innovation better than our top 10 companies. These are great companies. Just a plug for myself here, I wrote about them in my most recent blog in the supporter report, so if you want to learn more about them, you can go to the blog. And you will see that these companies will tell you in 3 minutes, each of them in 3 minutes, how innovative they are. 3 minutes is a really short period of time. And it's remarkable how incredible these companies are, and so how hard they have to work to get their pitch down into the 3 minutes. So you'll really enjoy them. Serving on this committee has been one of the greatest things that I've done in my professional life, because the people I work with on the committee are just incredible. I'm not going to take time to read out all their names, but I encourage you to look in the program to see the names of the people on the top 40 committee. And this year, in addition to Ron Dolinsky, who's been a co-chair from the beginning, we've also added Linnea Geis from our capita. We get new blood every year, and from these connections, I've made a lot of good friends, and what I really realize is the wonderful ecosystem we have in the state of Georgia for nurturing innovative companies. From these relationships that I've developed in the committee, I've had people like Sig Mosley, who's been a friend and a mentor, as well as Linnea. Many others have given me advice on various ventures I've started. One of our ventures is Group Office Buys, that is a sponsor of today's event. So the ecosystem, I know personally, when you need to get software developers, when you need to get a PowerPoint presentation done, when you need to get advice about markets, this system really works, and I think you'll see that when you see the top 10 companies today. Couple of things to point out. First of all, make sure during the breaks you spend time out in the lobby looking at the top 40 companies. The top 40 companies are also chosen based on their innovations, and each one of them has a tabletop out there, and these are also incredible companies. They include the top 10. Only the top 10 will give the presentations, but there are a lot of other truly deserving and great companies out there, and I encourage you to go spend time visiting those companies. Also, please pay careful attention to each of the presentations today, because you will be asked to vote in the annual People's Choice competition. You'll be picking companies for one of about 5 or 6 different categories, and there'll be a new voting system, which I'm not entirely sure how it works yet, but I'm sure I will by the time I come up on the stage next time. But we will vote on the People's Choice Awards where your vote counts. So in conclusion, I just want to say this is a really wonderful competition. It was particularly fierce this year. Every year, with the exception of maybe a dip around the Great Recession, but every year we get more and more applicants. I think we've maintained, if not increased, the quality of the companies that emerge from the competition. And once again, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have a chance to serve as the chair of this committee. Thank you very much. So the the way we do this is we have groups of 3 or 4 companies come up without introduction, although I believe the first one is AirWatch, and they'll follow in order. Again, please pay careful attention so you can vote for the People's Choice Awards. Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning. My name is David DeBerry, and I'm the COO of AirWatch. By a show of hands, let's see if we can get this. New slide. There we go. Okay, by a show of hands, how many of you have an iPhone, an iPad, or another smart device with you today? How many use that device for work? If my table was any representation, I know everybody was doing their work this morning. And you're not alone. There'll be 500 million mobile devices sold this year. At AirWatch, we manage, control, and secure the explosion of mobile devices in your business. What used to be dominated by BlackBerries has evolved into a mix of different devices, operating systems, and manufacturers. Some are company-owned, many others are employee-owned, and that has become the bring your own device to work phenomenon, BYOD. As you well know, we're all tied to our mobile devices, and they contain our most sensitive information. Just a few months ago, the CIO of a Fortune 500 company left his iPad in an airplane seat pocket. There was no password on the device, and as you can imagine, he was very concerned. We was in the middle of an AirWatch trial, and he called our chairman to see what he could do. He went down to the CIO's office, brought up the software console on his laptop, activated the GPS, and showed him that the device was actually still at the gate. He then gave the CIO 3 options. He locked the device, and then he said, first, you can go down to the airport and try to cajole the gate agent and see if he'll let you back on the plane. Option 2 was to lock the device and wipe it clean and call it a day. Option 3, after he locked the device, he pulled out a new iPad, and he said, I can go ahead and transfer all of your information over to this new iPad, and we can wipe the old one, and you're done. The CIO said, I'll take option 3. The point of these is that these devices need to be managed and secured. If you get hacked and lose your sensitive corporate information on your device, it's what we call the finger in the chili problem. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's a public relations disaster. Today, we're the largest mobile device manufacturing company, manager in the market with over 500 employees, more than 200 of which are focused on R&D. We have international operations in the UK, China, Australia, and Japan. AirWatch has also become the market leader. Gartner positioned AirWatch as a leader in its 2011 Magic Quadrant, and Forrester named AirWatch as an innovator in its MDM reports. In addition, a recent financial analyst reported that 70% of IT managers that they surveyed planned on replacing their BlackBerry system in the next 2 years. AirWatch was named as the most popular replacement choice by more than 2 to 1. We have more than 1,700 global customers, including 6 of the top 10 retailers. Many federal agencies have deployed AirWatch, as have many state and local governments. In connection with some airlines, AirWatch has helped to create the paperless cockpit, replacing a pilot's 45-pound bag with a 1.5-pound mobile device. For one of our airline partners, this content management solution means eliminating 16 million sheets of paper and saving 326,000 gallons of fuel every year. AirWatch has more than doubled its employee count over the last 12 months, and we expect to double this again this year. Hopefully, as you can see on the next slide, our customer base has increased over 800% in the last 15 months, and at our current pace, we're adding 400 customers per quarter. In fact, we added 200 customers in February alone. From a financial perspective, our 2011 mobility revenue grew 30 to 100% quarter over quarter, and our annual revenues have doubled every year since 2009 to 2011. As you can see, it's a great time to be in mobility. Steve Jobs changed the way that people think about what they carry in their pockets, and we're changing the way those devices are managed. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Velocity is a cancer imaging company. We were emerged from the Radiation Oncology Department at Emory University's Winship Cancer Institute, and we've been helped along our way through the Georgia Research Alliance and the ATDC organization at Georgia Tech. And what we've done is built a very advanced 3D imaging platform that's making some very significant changes in the way the cancer patients can be managed and treated. There we go. Each cancer patient, when they're diagnosed with cancer, goes through a journey. The journey involves trying to find and get on the best therapy. And all along the way, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of images that are taken of these patients. And the problem that creates, it's a workflow nightmare for physicians. They have to try to compare each slice of these very different types of images with one another to see what's happening. Also, each cancer patient is surrounded by almost a dozen physicians that are all trying to collaborate in some way, and they have poor access to these images. So our solution is to take all those 3D images that are sitting out there with hundreds of slices and to register them together in one integrated, fused manner that allows you to layer the information from the different types of imaging modalities together so that it can be very clear and unmistakable what's going on. Also, we have unique proprietary patent-pending technology that is allowing us to identify a tumor that's originally shown on this first image on the left, and then track automatically how its volume and cancer activity is changing over time. And that information provides new and specialized information that's helping make the physician able to choose the patient for therapy and optimize that. And so lastly, our competition is just comparing things slice by slice. We are 3 steps ahead of the competition. We have a unique platform for analyzing and fusing that information together. We automatically track it. And third, we are allowing those physicians now, by placing our platform in the cloud, the opportunity to collaborate much better and further enhance and optimize that patient's care. Thank you very much for listening.
Good morning, my name is Michael Zito, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Proximus Mobility. We'd like to thank TAG for having us here today. We're honored to be one of the top 10 innovative technology companies here in the state of Georgia. Walk into the MGM and you'll see a sign that says, to receive special offers, turn on your Bluetooth or Wi-Fi and connect to the MGM Rewards offer network. Upon doing so, you're going to receive some ads. That content is going to ask you to spend $100 in the retail location and receive $10 off of your purchase. After you go and redeem the offer, you walk back into the casino, you're geolocated, and you're sent a text that asks you to go by the VIP desk and receive a $25 credit for play at the tables or play at the slots, keeping you in the casino on property longer, spending more money, and engaging you in the brand longer. We're helping our clients, like the MGM, engage consumers in and around the point of purchase or point of influence and capture data that's very valuable to their business, regardless of phone type they have, regardless of carrier network the phone's on, and regardless of with no app necessary on the phone. When developing our solution, we wanted to take a 360-degree approach to the mobile relationship with the consumer. So we first focused on reach. How do we reach the most amount of mobile devices, both phone and tablet, regardless of the type, the carrier network, and with no app necessary on the phone? How do we engage the consumer in a hyper-local way within several feet to several hundred feet of a point of purchase or point of influence, and then track the data and that consumer engagement, pass it back to the brands and retailers, and then focus on loyalty and driving repeat visits based on the engagement that they've had with the content the last time that they engaged with it and with our solution. And then how do we help our clients monetize the relationship with the consumer? By increasing per head spend, increasing top line revenues, and increasing the sale of higher margin items. We're leveraging existing technologies such as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and really expanding on them and pushing them to the limits while integrating in NFC, 3G, 4G, geofencing via the carrier networks, all to create an innovative cloud-based offering with an access point that allows us to create a new marketing medium, engage with the consumer in a very unique way, track a lot of customer data, and then at the same time, we've developed proprietary algorithms that allow us to track foot traffic and dwell times through open Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connections in venue, which is something that retailers, mall management companies, and brands all want to see. These are some of the customers that we work with, and just to throw in a plug for the ATDC, we are an ATDC company and have 16 employees here, moved the company up from Florida because of organizations like TAG and a relationship with the ATDC and some of these large companies and large local companies that could be potential clients of ours like Home Depot, NCR, et cetera. So you see mall management companies, you see retailers, you see casinos, you see hotels, you see venues. So again, these are some of our customers that see the value in the solution. Thank you for having us today, and we hope to be innovating here in Georgia for many years to come.